Hey everyone, I just wanted to come in and comment on the two live streams from yesterday, the one from 1090 Jake and the one from KFrog. So I guess this is going to be part two to the whole Pino 1090 Jake KFrog situation. I just wanted to say this ahead of time, like I said in my last video, that I've always liked KFrog's content, I've always liked 1090 Jake's content, and I've always liked Pino. I don't really like one more than the other, and I don't know them personally, so the things I'm saying are not coming from a place of hatred or, hating or whatever. I'm just gonna comment on what I see. I'm gonna start off with Jake, and then I'm gonna move on to commenting on the two videos that KFrog had dropped prior to the live stream he did yesterday morning. And then I'm gonna play a clip for you, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Jake had a live stream yesterday morning, sort of calling KFrog out in a way, not in like a mean way or anything, but I guess in the spirit of being fair and attempting to preserve his credibility, because I think that some of his subscribers were coming to him saying, hey, how come you're not calling out KFrog? Because at that point, Pino and KFrog both looked really bad on paper, and people were thinking that, Jake was just kind of being dismissive of what, came about and what was exposed about KFrog. I give Jake respect for trying, but I do feel like he handled KFrog with kid gloves. His reasoning on the way he reacted to Pino and the way he reacted to KFrog was all based on energy. He said that the energy that Pino was putting off is that he didn't really care to defend himself. The energy wasn't there. He really didn't want to make it right or explain the situation. He kind of waited on it, and he privated his channel. I don't remember the channel being privated at any time. However, I do remember videos being taken down. In my opinion, I feel like Jake and Frog acted too fast on it. I also feel that maybe Pino's energy was kind of off because he probably got in his feelings because the two guys are his friends and they're calling him a snitch, and he felt like he was kind of thrown under the bus, and maybe that's why he was kind of defensive. I don't know. But while we're on the subject of energy, let's talk about KFrog. Jake felt that KFrog's reaction to all of this was, I guess, appropriate and the energy of somebody that was completely innocent. I felt like KFrog was dragging his feet and trying to put up a lot of distraction before actually addressing it. Pino dropped the paperwork on KFrog, and the only reaction anybody got was what he posted to Instagram. When your stepmom sets you up the day after your dad dies, your real mom will do and say anything to protect her child. He posted that, and then he posted a small clip of him and his mom discussing something about the court case, and nobody knew what he was talking about. Then he posts videos of him rolling around Pino's neighborhood, and he doesn't address anything about the case or his mom's letter to the judge or anything. So, in my opinion, that was him dragging his feet. Then he puts out a video the next day about how much he loves his mom and about how she has cancer and stuff like that, which I totally respect that he loves his mom and that he's very lucky to have her. And believe me, I'm praying for her because, I hope she gets through this. But I feel like that was just more of a distraction. Then the next day he puts out a video titled "I Am My Paperwork," where he goes on to talk about more about his mom and how he loves her and his dad and some things about the situation, but still not really getting to the point. And he said something in that video that I want to play a clip of right here. It's sort of off the subject, but it just made me laugh.
You feel me? But all the people that believe that shit and believe someone that's trying to redeem themselves off of actual being police, you feel me? Or a clown up in LA somewhere that's trying to redeem themselves, like when goons from Florida already went out there looking for bro. You feel me? Anyone that believes that shit, y'all could just, you feel me, clear it from KFrog TV, because I done worked so hard to keep it real and prove to you people. I went on the road 5 years on the house. You feel me? I lost my old boy the day before that shit. You feel me?
No. What I'm not going to believe is that those fools that rolled up to Milk 74's house were goons. I highly doubt that you sent those fools there. I highly doubt that they're from Florida. I think those fools were some LA residents that are subscribers of yours that thought it would be funny to roll up on Milk's pad. And what goon would roll up on someone's house, record the whole thing, make jokes with security and the receptionist? Come on now. Now you're just lying to your subscribers and, contradicting everything you say about keeping it real. Even if those guys are from Florida, they're not goons. I'm just saying. Anyways, back to the subject at hand. 4 days and 2 videos later, Jake does the live stream day before yesterday. And I believe that Jake probably got a hold of Frog and said, look, you look like you're dragging your feet. We need to address this properly. And so after Jake's live stream, Frog had a live stream and he kind of explained things more in depth. He kind of focused more on his story about, you know, getting screwed over by his stepmom and everything. And I believe that happened. However, I don't see how her putting you in prison benefited her in any way, because the state of Florida is not a community property state. And with your father dying, you're entitled to half, you and your siblings are entitled to half of all of his assets, unless there was a will and trust put in place that stated otherwise. And in that case, if there was a will and trust put in place that said she got everything, then she wouldn't have needed to put you in prison at all. As far as the life insurance policy goes, I'm not sure how that worked out, because if it was his father's life insurance policy that he opened on himself, I don't see how she could call the insurance company and change anything, any of the arrangements regarding that. And if it was a life insurance policy that she opened up on his father, then she probably wouldn't have put Frog's name on it anyways. As far as Frog calling the police, if he did do it or if he didn't do it, I don't know, but I do feel like Jake said, the energy there to me was defensive. I think he over-explained himself. And if he did call the cops, I wouldn't even hold it against him, because if they were setting him up, then I mean, you know, I would have felt like I was in a desperate situation if that was me. And as far as his mom goes, you know, she seems like a really lovely lady and a really loving mom. But if you're coming on here and saying that she lied for you, and at the same time you want her to vouch for you, well, you've already said that she'd lie for you. So I don't see why we would believe her. And that is, I'm not saying anything bad about her character. She's a good mom. She's going to have your back. That's what I'm saying. Although I kind of find it hard to believe that she lied in court about that 911 call, because a judge could easily request the recording of that 911 call and hear who actually called the police. As far as Jake saying that Frog showed up at Pino's work with nothing but hands, I don't know about all that. I don't feel like Frog wants to fight anybody. With that whole situation with the 5K and the fight with J-Rock and all that stuff, there was a whole bunch of other people that offered to fight him, and even some of them were like, I'll come out there for free. And he didn't take anybody up on that offer. He didn't want to do street beefs. He didn't want to do anything of the sort, which I feel like is fine. You know what I mean? It's part of growing up. You can't always be living life crazy like that unless you want to be in and out of jail your whole entire life. I feel like once upon a time, KFrog was very much about that life. And, you know, I think sometimes when someone gets him in his feelings on this platform, he'll kind of revert back to that guy and start talking shit. But then he'll start dialing it back and kind of backing out of whatever fight was supposed to happen, because he realizes it's not worth it. He doesn't want to jeopardize his freedom, his family, or his channel, or anything good he has going for him at this point, which I think is good. I think that's a good thing. But, you know, on the same note, don't get on your platform and wolf a bunch of shit that you're not going to back up. You know what I mean? I feel like as far as energy goes, Pino explaining his case, I felt like it was done in a timely manner. I mean, maybe behind the scenes he kind of dragged ass a little bit with his friends. Like I said, I think he was probably in his feelings about it. He probably got his feelings hurt that his friends were, you know, basically calling him a snitch. As far as KFrog goes, all he did was drag his feet and put up distractions. That's how I feel. And with the over-explaining, it just kind of made me feel a certain type of way about his situation. But KFrog and Jake have a lot of subscribers that you can tell don't really think for themselves and just kind of believe every single thing they hear out of their favorite creator. Anyways, I think that about wraps up everything I want to say. I don't want to go into make a huge long video. Try to keep my videos down to 5 or 10 minutes. And it's been really hard for me to create videos in this quarantine. I thought it was going to be easier and I'd have more time, but I've been doing homeschooling both my kids and doing housework and getting some stuff done. So anyhow, this week I'll hopefully be able to put out another video. I think I'm going to do a video on the Chosen One. A couple things that have happened in the last few weeks that I want to talk about. So stay tuned for that. I hope y'all enjoy the video. I love y'all.